Once again. It's Buster Cherry, a.k.a. Big B. The Smooth Operator, reporting live from the amazing Oakland Coliseum. I'm here to recap the 2023 LCFL draft. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there myself, so I sent LCFL alumni Matthew "Wimp" Falk to be my eyes and ears throughout the whole process. The truth is, I couldn't be there because I just didn't want to be there, and Matt was willing to work for peanuts, so I sent him instead. Speaking of Matt Falk, I'd like to shout out Matt's fantasy team on the 10-year anniversary of their first season. You know the name. The draft this year was at Chad's house, and I heard the lumpia was flowing like water. Had I known the Hawaiian Max salad was going to be there, I would have showed up with my own bowl. The days leading up to the draft, David broke the internet with an announcement that made it seem like he was going to pull the plug on this dynamic fantasy football league. After much discussion, the league was able to once again bend but not break and pivot to the new LCFL 2.0. What is the 2.0 for? No one knows, but it's provocative and gets the people going. The man of the weekend also belonged to Dave, as he was the very first person inducted into the LCFL Hall of Fame. Not only did he start the greatest fantasy league in the history of fantasies, he holds 11 playoff appearances and 3 championship wins in the league's 15-year history. I'd like to congratulate Dave on all his accomplishments. Although he's lucky Ricky isn't in the league anymore, or else those records would be on their way to being shattered like a backboard by Chocolate Thunder. I heard the league tried to get Carlos Santana to play guitar and kick off the draft, but he wouldn't return their calls and ultimately blocked John P's number. I also have John P's number blocked for unsolicited pictures, so Carlos, I completely understand. For the 16th year, the LCFL knew it had to do something special and was able to land Bay Area legend Banjo Man to come in, rock the house, and start the draft off right. Thanks for slapping that banjo like only you can. But now that it's over, please, Banjo Man, go take a shower. The draft's been over almost a week now. I wasn't even there, and I can still smell you. Our defending champion and God's favorite fantasy player Omar from Team Nigem started everything off by throwing out Travis Kelce to get the money flowing. Omar didn't buy him, but he did quickly buy top rookie Bijan Robinson to pair with his dynamic keeper wideout duo of DK and Smith. He's going another year with old-ass Rodgers at QB, but he's brought in new young talent like Higgins, Pitts, and Andrews to hopefully keep him relevant and get Team Nigem back to the playoffs. John Locke lost the LCFL championships in record-breaking fashion, but to anyone who wants to giggle at his 80-point debacle, just know he made a buttload of money to suck that hard. Josh Allen managed to finally get out of the awful contract the Toasty Loaves held him hostage in, and he is now leading the Loch Ness Monsters as the third highest-paid QB in the league. Keeper wide receiver Chase is paired with the Crisco Oil slippery DJ Moore, and they are now possibly the most wiggly duo in the league. Like any true Colts homer would do, John couldn't help himself and signed Jonathan Taylor, even though he's on the PUP list. Only time will tell if that was a mistake or not. Josh Allen gets his revenge game right away against Chad Week 1, as John looks to start off things with a win. Sam was the inaugural winner last year of both the first to 1,000 points and GM of the Year awards, as his team broke to the front fast and stayed in front all season. He tied Omar's record, rattling off 10 wins in a row during this dynamic run. The wheels eventually fell off in the playoffs, and it will now be remembered as the most disappointing season in LCFL history. Hitting rock bottom after the season, Sam decided to rebrand as the West Dilly Dons and plans to kick down doors and take that trophy once and for all. Luckily, Sam drafted well and was able to keep 2 top 15 wide receivers for only $34. Hopefully, Travis Kelce's loose knee holds up for him to accomplish his goal. Moving on to the fantasy computer ran by Anthony. After losing their 4th Reebok Classic in a row, they decided to steal Geno Smith from Uptown Hamburger, also signing Diggs and Hawkinson to help carry the load and take a lot of pressure off of the Rumbinator. Drink up on some of that delicious Rahalmond milk for your old pal Buster. Go get your first classic, boys. Holding the record for most draft money spent on a single player, Jason secured another record for most money spent on one keeper, as he locked in CMC for a whooping $93. Hopefully, pairing Mahomes with the top running back will once again get him in the championship. Changing from the well-respected Super Gremlins to the now need to prove themselves Badwater Braves, David did the unthinkable in his Hall of Fame season by drafting the most intolerable player available. Deshaun Just touch it, Watson. We heard Watson is already on the block, but he's probably just laying there waiting for some extra attention, if you know what I mean. The jump logs filled their complete roster in the draft, stacking it with top talent. Keeping Waddle from the previous season, they were able to pair him with Jalen Hurts to hopefully put the hurt on the competition. With the league now voting for a 7th playoff spot, Sean is salivating at the opportunity to finally get in the big dance and throw some elbows. Although only having one playoff season, Adam has probably the most impressive record in LCFL history. He currently has an undefeated 8 straight win record over Joe that he is all but sure he will push to 9 straight. Known for having a stacked defense, Adam has a full roster of talent and even 2 past superstars of Mike Thomas and OBJ on the bench, waiting for the coach to call them in. Coming off a terrible 4-10 season in their reboot, the Toasty Loaves knew they had to make a power move to find a backbone if they wanted to have success in the future. What did Chad do? He went out and got the electric duo of Kirk Cousins and Danny Dimes to lead the team into battle week in and week out. Signing Antioch's own Najee Harris, not only as a locker room guy, but tentpole on the field, should help turn around the franchise and possibly get 5 wins instead of 4 this year. For a record-setting 6th straight season, Justin and King Henry will run it back once again in what is being deemed the last dance. Even though some of Justin's peers told him he's overpaying, keeping Henry for the $77 and making him the 2nd highest paid running back in the league was top priority. Hopefully Calvin Ridley doesn't bet on any of the spreads and can stay on the field to help the franchise. Shrooms for life. Houston picked a great player to represent the fan club this year that embodies the team perfectly. Barry Sanders. Amazing talent, but for one reason or another never makes the playoffs. Admitting this could be the last year with fantasy superstar Austin Eckler, Houston brought in T. Law to captain the ship and D. Adams to be first mate. With a 7-team playoff looming overhead, could this be the year the fan club makes their first postseason? Although he only drafted 9 players and forgot his password to completely miss out on the start of free agency, Mikey needs to be respected as our current LCFL Derby champion. Anything can happen in this league, and with studs like St. Brown, Gibbs, and Barkley being captained by Big Justin Herbert, Mike Nelson isn't a team anyone should look forward to playing. 6 years removed from his 2017 championship, and fresh off another West Dilly Bowl loss, Joe felt it was time to rebrand the franchise to give his players something new to fight for, and his fan base something new to cheer for. The West Dilly Wilds are officially here, and they know what it takes to win. Bringing back Cup on a team-friendly deal and signing Jiu-Jitsu white belt Tua should keep the team on the right track. It's not even a question that their $30 nuclear defense will be the backbone of franchise, but will it be enough to win them another championship? Coming in last place in the previous season, John P. and Buddy Lee knew they had to do something different to shake things up. They believed spending top dollar for CeeDee Lamb and cutting a massive check to bring in Lamar should be the answer to solve all their problems. They loaded up on RB2s like toilet paper in the pandemic and are looking to take home the belt this year to wash away that asterisk and all doubt from the 2012 championship season. Cheers to the lowest scoring team week 7 that will win my card. This is shaping up to be the most exciting season since Dave got that safety on Chad. Yes, Chad, we still remember and will never forget. Shout out to the 2.0, signing off. This was Buster Cherry for the Sackramento Bee.